Once a week, I would wake up in a cold sweat, wondering if he was okay. On my way to the hospital, alone, with access documents in the front seat, I would hope and pray that he was breathing. The incredible miracle God had given us despite all of it. I was born and raised in Ghana. My mother a college professor and my father a respected businessman in the city. We had a good life. When I was 16, my mother went in for routine surgery and we waited for her to come out. What we learned was that my mother would never wake up from that surgery. Our mother was not coming home. My brother and I needed a fresh start. We packed our bags. We traded the pain in our hearts for the pain of Chicago winters. I soon realized that discovering who I was and how I should navigate the world without my mother would be the hardest thing I've done so far. A few years and many lessons later, I met my husband, who had also come from Ghana. We got married, we moved to DC, and shortly after, I gave birth to our daughter. We were so happy. We enjoyed each other, we treasured the miracle of life, and we stored up all that joy in our hearts. When my daughter was 3, I became pregnant again. This time, however, we lost our son at 38 weeks. We were so heartbroken. Nothing ever prepares you for the feeling of losing a piece of you. As a mother, you give so much of yourself, all of yourself, to your children until they become your world. What do you do when your world is lost? It was this loss that drove us back to Chicago. Year after year, more miscarriages, more pieces of myself lost. Finally, I had settled it with God. It was impossible for us to have more children. I was content, and I found that when you arrive there is when God meets you with miracles. This next pregnancy surprised us. Like all my pregnancies, this was hard. At only 28 weeks, Jojo decided it was time to come into the world. We knew that at such a young age, only by the grace of God would this child be born and stay healthy. Jojo was delivered, and after all the loss we had experienced, nothing was more confusing and painful and worrying than having this little baby in the NICU. I felt a relentless desire for him to be still inside me, where it was safe and he could grow up more naturally. Instead, in a plastic box with tubes everywhere, I prayed for him to feel my presence, whilst I prayed for myself to feel God's presence. The doctors would say, he'll never walk. He needs a blood transfusion. His lungs will never function properly. Just as he started to gain weight, we had the first reports of COVID. Our time at the hospital was restricted, and we would need a letter from our doctor just to visit our son. Week after week, this is where I found myself. I was in a foreign land with an unlikely pregnancy, an inconvenient birth, isolated from support, broken and tired. With every breath I took, I prayed for the next breath of my son. Oh, how much power we have in breath. The power to bring life, the power to take life away, the power to speak truth to the nations or calm those calling out in desperation. In my anxiety, the first thing I must protect is my breath, to embrace the calm presence of the now and embrace what's right in front of me. Grace. The grace that has brought heaven to earth and hope from all our pain. Hope from my pain. It is grace that has brought a gasping Jesus into this world so long ago. An unlikely pregnancy, an inconvenient birth, isolated from support, broken and tired. Breath of heaven. Through so much loss with my mother, countless children, friends, and family, what stands out to me is the blessing they were and the hope we have that this broken world can be saved. Through every day of uncertainty and the urge to worry and wonder what's next, I breathe deep. I listen to the world around me. I choose to be present in my life as it is right now. I choose to be right here with you, Jojo. I am not sure of what tomorrow will bring, but for now, in this moment, I am grateful.